Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can use Autodesk's 3ds Max to model in multiple shadow analysis to make a quick comprehensive diagram. So welcome back to the interface. The previous tutorial walks you through some of the basics of 3ds Max, and today I thought we'd get into a little bit more analysis. But in case you've forgotten, I'm first going to just enlarge this screen here, and that can simply be done by the shortcut Alt-W. But we can also do that by navigating up here and then clicking the Maximize Viewport. As we can see, the thing you'll be needing for this project is a 3D model of something, and here I have Swinburne's campus. So let's do some shadow analysis, shall we? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go up to this Create panel here, and we're going to click on Systems, and then we're going to click in Daylight. Now, we're actually not going to use this as our light source. This is mainly going to be used as our time director, and we're going to use an Arnold light. So what we're going to do is then drag and drop that one in. And as we can see, that's placed in our sunlight there. And so now we can see our sunlight. So what I might do is just quickly navigate to make that a bit easier to see. There it is. Okay, and now the second thing we're going to do is we're going to then make a Arnold light. And so first of all, we'll quickly check the modify settings, and we want to make sure that this is set to active. We don't want our sunlight or our skylight to be active, so just make sure that that's unticked. Okay, and now we're going to create an Arnold light. So to do that, we go to our Create panel, then we go to this little light bulb and we click Arnold light. Now this might be set to photometric by default, but we're going to make sure Arnold is selected, and that's when we can then drag and drop our Arnold light, as we can see there. There seems to be a lot going on, but that's all right. We're going to make it a whole lot more comprehensive in a second. So with your Arnold light selected, you then want to make sure that in our modifiers panel, it's not letting me select it, there we go. In our modify panel, we want to make sure that it here is selected to distant. So just make sure it might be set to something else as default. So the shape here needs to be selected and set as distant. Once that's set, then we can click keep this selected, and we're going to use this align tool just up the top in our toolbar, and then we're going to use that to align it to our daylight. And as we can see, that's automatically aligned them together. Oops, looks like we've created two Arnold lights, so we'll just delete that one there. So to do that, we'll just select it and just delete that. There we go. And now our Arnold light is connected and aligned. As we can see, our sunlight and Arnold light are together. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to link these two together. And so what we want to do is we want to select this link tool here. So we'll just make sure nothing's selected, click this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to then click around, and we'll get this little line, and when this is highlighted, then we'll know that it has been selected. Oops, not a very good angle here, so I might just navigate to something a bit more visual. And with our link, we just want to make sure when we drag that everything gets linked together. Okay, and now that these are linked, what we can now do is clone them. So the first thing we're going to do is select, well, first of all, we need to set up a date and time. So what we're going to do is we're going to select these layers here, And we're going to go to the modify tab up the top here, and we're going to go to date and time setup, and we're going to get our location. At the moment set to San Francisco, and we want to change it to be Melbourne. So let's you can do that by searching Melbourne, Australia, and Melbourne. There we go. Select OK, and there's our sunlight sitting in nicely in accordance to Melbourne date and time. We want to set up, in this case, let's do winter solstice, which means it's the day with the least amount of sunlight. And we'll set the hour to be 9 a.m. And now we're going to make clones of this. And so to do that, we just need to select these layers. So just make sure that pretty much everything here except for our model is selected. So do that and hold down Shift, and then I've selected everything but our model. And then what I can do is I can right click, and we see this clone button here. Just click clone and OK. And then just keep repeating that a few times. One more clone, one more time. Okay, now we've made a few instances of our light. We can now select it, and once again, what we can do is we can change the date and time. So we want this to be 10 and click again. And we want this to be 11 and click again. And 12. And then we want this one to be 1, 2, and finally set for 3 hours. Oops. Okay, and we'll set this one here to 9 a.m. Actually, we'll keep it at 10 a.m. So that's 10 to 3 is the time that we'll be running our solar analysis. Now, the next part is quite important. Actually, before you progress any further, do make sure that you have saved your file, because depending on your laptop speed and ability, it may glitch, or it may freeze your 3ds Max. And the next thing we're going to now do is just make sure that we have all of our settings set up correctly. So I like going to edged faces sort of mode. It looks a little bit crazy with this mesh model that we have in the moment, but that's all good. And now what we want to do, is click on the standards button here. And we want to make sure that this active shade using Arnold is turned on. I also recommend putting it to a high quality. You might not see anything on a low quality or on a standard quality. And give this a second to run, and I'll get back to you with the finalized results.